So first and foremost, I just want to thank Emilio and the organizers for setting this up. I think it's great that we can all come together and talk about these initiatives in different regions and hopefully figure out ways of breaking down the barrier between these different countries when it comes to launching a product. So I'm Jeremy. I'm from Factory Berlin, and I'm the community manager there. Factory Berlin is a tech campus for startups and mature technology companies. We have 16,000 square meters of space right next to the former Berlin Wall Memorial. So if you look at the space right now, this is sort of a landscape shot from our main building. And yes, those are two massive swings in the front yard. We also have this orange and white building, Sechs Wunderkinder, a productivity app called Wunderlist. They created this, and they have around an 80-person team and operate there with 4 startups. The gray Ivy building is also ours with companies like Zendesk, and 4 early stage teams are working there. And then along the block on the other side, you can't quite see the building, but we have a co-working space for early stage teams. So how did this all start? How did we get our hands on all this property, and what exactly is Factory doing? I'm going to go back to the beginning and take you through this really quickly. Essentially, Factory formed because there were 2 founders. They were both angel investors working in a seed stage firm called James, JMES. One had more of a real estate background, and the other was a traditional startup guy and has worked in Berlin in various startups and startup roles since the 90s. So this sort of mesh of real estate and startups formed this concept that led them to this building. And this is a former brewery. Again, it's alongside the Berlin Wall. In fact, the right side of this wall, the facade, was used as part of the eastern block of the wall. And the former Stasi used to sit in that top floor there with rifles and would shoot any defectors crossing the area. So obviously historical significance. Poor but sexy. I'll wind that one in. This is the space in our building. You see this all over Berlin. There's loads of abandoned space. There's cool things like former Iraq embassies that are completely abandoned and untouched. And right now, Berlin is sort of seeing this surge of people trying to figure out what to do with all this space. So what we did, just like a startup, I guess, we started building. And it was a massive project. It started in 2012, and we had loads of problems. So just like a startup, we faced massive hurdles. This is actually a massive hole, as you can see, in our front courtyard. We started building to build another 5th building, which would hold co-working space for some early stage teams. And we found an old Soviet bunker with live grenade shells in it. So we put a stall on this and kept moving along, kept building, and we finished and came up with something like this. This is a shot of the building from March. So we can all talk about pretty buildings, but I think we all realize that what's important is the people in them. And this is a community that we've been building up over the past 2 years. Like I said, we try to bring together different stage companies. I think that's key to our concept. So I guess the line there would be we're stage agnostic. We see the value in bringing together tech giants, local startup heroes, early stage teams, and we also have academic partners that sort of funnel into this system. You may know some of the startups, like SoundCloud, obviously a huge brand. They occupy 3 floors of this main space. Twitter, international tech giant, Zendesk, and also cool up-and-coming products from Berlin like TapTalk. In fact, I'm going to send one right now just to show you what this is. A lot of people compare it to Snapchat, but it's really interesting. These 2 guys just built a simple product together, a team of 2 from the co-working space to the right there. On the right side, the 2-block building, and launched a photo messaging app that is seamless. You can send photos quickly and super fast in 2 clicks. So they launched this from Berlin, from Factory, and then Facebook actually cloned it. They cloned it with an app called Slingshot. And once this happened, media attention came, investors came, and these guys are on their way into building a relatively well-known and widely used product. All started here with a team of 2. Okay, so when I talk about community, I think this is key for us. We're really keen on continuing to grow what we've started, and we've started to build a community of great talents. They're amazingly bright people, but they're also human and they like to have fun. So throughout the whole space, throughout the whole campus, we try to mesh this sort of attitude of work meets play. So you see it in the SoundCloud offices. They have things like a nap room, a recording studio. It's just state of the art. Okay, I have 3 minutes, so I don't need to talk so much about the startups and our building. I'm going to talk about some programs that we're launching in our model a bit, because I think it's quite different than an accelerator or an incubator or any of these. We're essentially launching 3 products to cover this span of people in our space that want to rent everything from a desk to a whole floor. So a guy with an idea all the way to a Twitter or a SoundCloud who need space to grow. The first program, which may be relevant to some people in the room, and we'll launch it by the end of the year, is called Residency. What we're doing in the next weeks is Sechs Wunderkinder is moving from this residential building in the middle of our courtyard and occupying 1 floor of the main building. We're going to continue to fill this with startups, but we also want to take 1 floor of it and make it actually living space for entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in coming to Berlin for 3 months and you want to live on campus within our community and get introduced to the scene, maybe try to find a co-founder, maybe try to just involve yourself in different events, this is a program for you. The next stage is a program that we launched together with Google for Entrepreneurs, one of our sponsors. They sponsored us with €1 million in 2012 to run events and support programs within Berlin and the startup ecosystem there. Distillery, I guess, would function as our version of an accelerator. The way it works is if a startup has a question or a problem that they're facing, they submit it to our system. We built software for this, and we have our academic partners from 6 different universities all around Europe that host office hours with these startups. It's not the PhD's job to actually solve the problem, but merely to collect some data points and figure out what this problem really is. So I'll give you an example. Some startups have come in and said, I need to raise money. That's really not a problem that we can help you with. I mean, we can't provide you with an intro to an investor like that, but if you said, I need to know how to legally set up my company in Germany, the PhD would essentially go to his network of lawyers that we've partnered with. We also have entrepreneurs from SoundCloud and all of the startups within our network who are mentors as a part of this. And then they set up the meeting with the mentor, and it's up to the mentor and the startup to decide how they want to take that relationship. So it's very different than, I guess, an American model where you would receive some 20K, 25K, work for a period of a few months, and then have a demo day and investors, and then you're spat out. This is just a support system that we're trying to build. And then obviously Factory, and it's best displayed in SoundCloud's case or Sechs Wunderkinder's case. There's many startups within some of these early stage ecosystems that reach a certain point and need to grow their startup into a real business. And they need the space to do it, and they also want to design the space in a way that reflects their corporate identity and the culture of their company. So we provide them with the space to do this. We officially opened our main building on June 11th. Eric Schmidt came over and gave a keynote speech. We're still a startup too, and we're figuring out a lot of things. There's lots of things that we're building. There's lots of programs going on. There's lots of interest, be it from event organizers or startups or corporates in how to plug into this network and this system that we've built. So I'm looking forward to talking with everyone here about how we can help out. If you're interested in coming to Berlin, you can always shoot me an email, and yeah, thanks.